Have you ever stared at a single number on a lab report and felt a wave of fear wash over you, as if that one figure could define the entirety of your health, your future, and even your peace of mind? Many people with chronic kidney disease encounter this moment, where the eGFR number, a simple calculation of how well your kidneys filter blood, suddenly feels like a judgment, an unyielding verdict on your body's worth and your life's trajectory. But what if I told you that this number, standing alone, tells only a fragment of the story? What if the anxiety you feel is less about your kidneys and more about the way your mind interprets fluctuations, failing to see the broader, more meaningful pattern that unfolds over time? In the teachings and insights shared by Dr. Mathew R. Weir, there is a profound reminder that life, much like kidney function, cannot be measured in isolated snapshots. True understanding comes from observing trends, recognizing context, and embracing the natural rhythm of change. The eGFR, when taken as part of a sequence, becomes not a judge, but a guide, a whisper of information that, when properly interpreted, empowers you rather than terrifies you. Understanding this concept requires patience, self-reflection, and the willingness to look beyond immediate fears. Every fluctuation in your lab results is like a ripple on a lake. It appears dramatic up close, yet when you step back and see the lake as a whole, the surface tells a story of balance, adaptation, and resilience. By focusing only on a single reading, you risk magnifying an insignificant variation into a crisis that never truly exists. Instead, you must learn to track your kidney function over weeks, months, and years, noticing how lifestyle choices, diet, hydration, stress, and medical interventions interact with your body's natural ebb and flow. Here lies the key. The number itself is not inherently powerful. The meaning we assign to it is. And when that meaning is distorted by fear, confusion, or misinformation, it can dominate our emotions and decisions in ways that are far more harmful than the condition itself. This is where Dr. Mathew R. Weir's philosophy resonates most deeply. Knowledge without wisdom is empty, and observation without patience is fleeting. The mind, when untrained, can turn minor changes into monumental crises, convincing us that our path is perilous when, in truth, the journey is unfolding exactly as it should. By embracing the principle of trend analysis, patients reclaim agency over their health, choosing to act with insight rather than panic. Every measurement becomes a piece of a larger puzzle, revealing the narrative of your kidneys, not as a series of threats, but as a map of resilience, adaptability, and growth. And just as in life, where challenges ebb and flow, understanding eGFR trends teaches an invaluable lesson. Not everything that moves downward is a failure, nor is every upward swing a cause for celebration. Each moment, each number, each fluctuation is a signal that your body is alive, responsive, and continuously adapting to the world you create for it. As you begin to see the patterns, to watch the story of your health unfold over time, you will realize that anxiety diminishes when understanding deepens, that empowerment grows when observation replaces fear, and that every step forward is a testament to the strength and wisdom that Dr. Mathew R. Weir so often inspires in his followers. It is in this mindset, grounded in patience and perspective, that real transformation occurs, both in health and in the broader journey of life itself, where numbers, facts, and data become allies, not adversaries. As we move deeper into the journey of understanding our health, there comes a moment when the surface calm of daily numbers begins to shift, and uncertainty creeps in, whispering doubts that threaten to shake even the most disciplined mind. You may have noticed it yourself. A single drop in your eGFR, a fluctuation that seems minor on paper, suddenly looms large, casting shadows over days, weeks, and perhaps even months of progress. This is the moment where fear and uncertainty are at their most potent, where the human tendency to catastrophize can turn a minor, natural variation into a looming disaster in our imagination. But here, precisely, is where the teachings of Dr. Mathew R. Weir offer profound clarity. Life and the story of our kidneys is not a straight line. It is a complex, evolving narrative, full of small rises and falls that, when viewed in isolation, can seem alarming. but when seen as part of a larger pattern, reveal resilience, adaptation, and the remarkable capacity of the human body to maintain balance even in the face of challenges. There is a natural rhythm to how our kidneys function, a rhythm that may be influenced by hydration, stress, sleep, diet, medication, and countless subtle variables that fluctuate from day to day. To see only one number, without context or perspective, is to read a single sentence of a novel and claim you understand the plot. Imagine standing at the edge of a cliff, looking down at a narrow, jagged path. The sheer drop below feels terrifying, yet it's only one perspective. Step back, broaden your view, and you realize the path is not only navigable, but part of a larger journey leading to strength, insight, and growth. In that moment, suspense is not a force of panic. It is an opportunity to pause, reflect, and see beyond the immediate. This is the suspense that we must embrace, the tension that asks us to reconsider. Am I reacting to reality or to perception? Herein lies a transformative insight. Your body communicates not in absolutes, but in trends and signals. Every slight rise or fall in eGFR is like a note in a symphony. Only when the melody is heard as a whole does it make sense. And the lesson is not confined to numbers. It is a metaphor for life itself. We often fixate on single setbacks, single mistakes, single failures, as though they define our existence. Yet wisdom, patience, and perspective transform these moments into opportunities, teaching us to interpret signals rather than react to them blindly. The process of learning to track your kidney health is, in essence, the process of learning to live intentionally. By recording your results, noting patterns, and understanding what truly signifies change versus what represents temporary fluctuation, you reclaim power over your mind, your choices, and your well-being. In these practices, Dr. Mathew R. Weir emphasizes the importance of disciplined observation, the kind that cultivates both knowledge and serenity. And it is here, in this delicate balance between awareness and fear, that suspense becomes an ally. The uncertainty that once paralyzed you now becomes a guide, pointing toward areas where attention, action, or reflection are necessary. It reminds you that life is dynamic, that health is dynamic, and that our response to change is the measure of our strength. Every trend you track, every pattern you notice, is a small victory over panic, a quiet triumph of clarity over confusion. You begin to understand that eGFR is not a sentence. It is conversation between your body and your mind, a dialogue that becomes meaningful only when interpreted with patience, perspective, and informed judgment. By embracing this philosophy, inspired by Dr. Mathew R. Weir, you cultivate resilience, not by denying fluctuations, but by acknowledging them, understanding them, and placing them within a larger context that honors both your body's intelligence and your capacity to respond wisely. And as you continue this practice, you discover an inner calm, a profound sense of control that transcends numbers and lab results, a confidence rooted in observation, understanding, and the timeless truth that life, like kidney function, is best understood as a journey, not a single moment. Now, as we reach the culmination of this journey of understanding, it becomes clear that the real power does not lie in numbers, charts, or isolated lab results, but in the mindset we cultivate as we navigate the ever-changing landscape of our health. Life, much like kidney function, is an intricate tapestry of subtle shifts, quiet adaptations, and moments of resilience that may go unnoticed if we are only seeking dramatic signs of progress or decline. The eGFR, in this sense, is more than a medical measurement. It is a mirror reflecting the choices we make, the patience we practice, and the awareness we bring to our bodies each day. Dr. Mathew R. Weir has often emphasized that knowledge becomes meaningful only when paired with insight, and insight only grows when tempered by observation, reflection, and a commitment to understanding the bigger picture. Every fluctuation in eGFR, whether a rise or a fall, is part of a dialogue between your body and your mind, a conversation that teaches you to slow down, to notice patterns, and to respond with intelligence rather than fear. The true lesson here is not about achieving perfect numbers, but about cultivating a steady, informed approach that honors your body's natural rhythms. As you observe trends over time, you begin to see that short-term drops or spikes are rarely catastrophic. They are messages, signals that can guide your actions, highlight areas where lifestyle adjustments may help, and reinforce the importance of consistency in care, diet, hydration, and stress management. This perspective transforms every measurement into an opportunity, a chance to learn more about how your body interacts with the world and how your choices influence the subtle symphony of kidney function. And yet, this understanding also brings suspense, a quiet tension that reminds us life is dynamic and unpredictable. We may plan, strategize, and act with intention, but the human body is a living system, influenced by innumerable variables beyond our control. This tension, however, is not a source of despair. It is a call to vigilance, patience, and resilience. By learning to read these signals without succumbing to panic, you cultivate a strength that extends far beyond health alone. You develop the wisdom to distinguish what truly matters from what is transient, the courage to act thoughtfully rather than react impulsively, and the peace that comes from knowing that every fluctuation is part of a much larger story. Through this lens, inspired by Dr. Mathew R. Weir, we recognize that the essence of empowerment lies not in controlling every variable, but in mastering the art of perception, interpretation, and informed action. Every eGFR reading becomes a teacher, every trend a lesson, and every decision an expression of personal agency. You discover that living with awareness transforms fear into clarity, confusion into understanding, and uncertainty into a structured path forward. And perhaps most importantly, you realize that the journey of monitoring your kidney health mirrors the journey of life itself, a continuous series of changes, challenges, and opportunities, each requiring patience, mindfulness, and courage. By embracing this approach, you not only become a wiser observer of your own health, but also a more intentional participant in your own life, responding to signals with insight rather than being swept away by reaction. And as this perspective deepens, you will find that true confidence does not come from static numbers, but from a growing awareness of your body's patterns, your mind's interpretations, and the choices you make to support wellness in a holistic and thoughtful way. Remember, this channel is inspired by the teachings of Dr. Mathew R. Weir, aiming to guide, educate, and motivate you to take an active role in your health journey. It is not the official channel of Dr. Mathew R. Weir, but a fan-inspired space dedicated to sharing knowledge and empowering insights. If you are benefiting from our topics, please subscribe, like, and turn on the bell notification so you can see our new videos early. Every step you take in understanding your kidney health, every moment you dedicate to observing trends rather than reacting to fear, is a testament to your resilience, your wisdom, and your commitment to living fully. Life is not defined by a single number, and neither is your health. It is defined by how you perceive, respond, and grow with every fluctuation, every challenge, and every opportunity to learn. In embracing this philosophy, inspired by Dr. Mathew R. Weir, you step into a life of empowerment, awareness, and mindful action. A life where knowledge guides you, patience steadies you, and courage propels you forward toward the healthiest, most intentional version of yourself.